So what's going on, guys? My name is Mr. Dalek JD, and in this video we're going to be talking about some secret things within Rave in the Redwoods which haven't really been talking and spoken about too much, or there wasn't really a lot of information given. Now, if you've missed the crazy abundance of gameplay, trailer and information that we got, make sure to check the links in the description where you can see the intro cinematic cutscene as well as the gameplay trailer and live stream that was presented by Infinity Ward yesterday. But in this video we're going to be talking about the things that were sort of not really touched on or spoken about too much within all of this information, and I'm guaranteeing you some of this stuff is going to be really interesting for you. So if you guys do enjoy this, make sure to smash that like button, let me know your thoughts on everything that's been revealed so far. Let's jump into this. Now, in the live stream it wasn't mentioned exactly how you enter this Rave Vision, but if you don't already know what that is, it's this weird vision where everything is super neon and bright and colourful, and there are things which you can only see in Raver mode, such as the brand new boss, the Slasher. So in the live stream they never really explained how you go into Rave mode or Rave Vision, but now we know exactly how. So the way that this works is there are these pouches you can get by killing zombies that kind of float in the air and players can collect them. If you take them to any of the fire pits located in and around the map and toss it into it, it will put you into this induced state where you kind of get the ability to see more than you can normally see. So when you're in Rave mode, everything turns into this bright neon coloured location. It still retains its pocket of darkness here and there, but we've put these bright colours not only into the world but also onto the zombies. They've got body paint and face paint, and it really gives an alternate look to the whole experience. In addition to that, we have the new zombie boss, the Slasher. I'll go into exact details on him in a moment, but what is crazy cool is if you're playing with someone and you go into Rave Vision, but your friend doesn't, you can be engaging with the Slasher, it will be right in front of you, and your friend will be like, I don't see him, where is he, what's going on? Now, the Slasher is the monstrous legend that's been stalking the inhabitants of the local campground for some time. With our four heroes on the scene, he's got his sights set on some new trophies to add to his collection. Now, what's really interesting is we're told we can only see this Slasher boss inside of Rave Vision, but interestingly, he also mentioned that there's a way to get a super version of the Slasher, which is in the physical world rather than just being in this Rave Vision world. He will physically be in the normal world just like any other normal zombie. How exactly we go about doing that, we are not too sure at this point in time. As we see in this footage, we have both the normal size Slasher and then this genetically mutated Slasher, which takes on a slightly different appearance. Now, the original Slasher has a chainsaw weapon, but this genetically mutated version, which Activision are calling the Super Slasher, he doesn't have that chainsaw weapon on him anymore. It's now chained to his back and his arms, which is really interesting. How exactly that happens, that change, is that something that we have to do, or is it something that the Slasher does himself? I don't know if the reward for taking him down is taking his chainsaw weapon, because you do see the character holding a chainsaw in the trailer, but it looks like his vision is slightly impaired, like as if he is the Slasher. So if you could play it as him and take down zombies, that would be so sick. Now, we don't just have that as the new zombie, we'll also have the Sasquatch. So Bigfoot isn't so friendly after all. In fact, he just wants to rip your face off. Watch your back, they tend to hunt in packs. So this is confirmed to be the brand new clown round, and what's different to clown rounds in this map, particularly with the Sasquatches, is they don't just blow up in your face. They will teleport, they roam around in packs, and these things can run up to you and literally scratch your face off. It is frightening, and I didn't think they could make something more scary than the clown rounds, but it looks like they have. Now, this next bit of intel comes straight from Brian Bright, the project director for Infinite Warfare Zombies, and he tweeted out the Rave in the Redwoods inventory screen where he called all of these items candy charms. Now, we know we got an update recently which put in the trophies as well as the fate and fortune cards and brand new challenges, and there's something tied to the candy charms, and these are the new parts that we're going to be picking and adding to our inventory and building things within the map. There's some very obscure items within here, such as binoculars, a spade, what looks like some rope, a statue head, a dummy, a frog, and a pair of boots, amongst some other things which we really can't make out at this time. Now, this essentially is the new version of the sticker pack. Now, it seems like there's not as many items as there was in the other sticker pack, but you have to remember that these don't look like they're building weapons per se, but these are all things that might be required for the Easter egg. We really don't know. But pay attention as well to this weird piece of string that's tied all around them, like as if once we have all the items they could be tied together or something like that. There's some sort of significance to it that I don't even know at this moment in time what that means. But we have a pair of boots. I could only assume that could be walking through some sort of mud. We have a spade, which of course be digging something up. Binoculars, probably to spy and look through tall different trees in the background. Perhaps there could be something cool involving a massive Bigfoot Easter egg or something like that. I have no idea. Looks like a piece of rope that could be related to a fishing rod. There is a section of the map where there is a lake and you can see fish jumping up and down, so I've got no idea if that's related. The dummy, I don't even want to think what that could be related to. I honestly have no idea. So if you've got any ideas, drop them in the comments. Now let's change subject to talk about the new playable character inside of this map, which of course is Kevin Smith, who's famous for playing Silent Bob. Now Lee Ross very recently done an interview with a website called comingsoon.net where they spoke a lot about, of course, Rave in the Redwoods, and they mentioned about Kevin Smith. Lee Ross says that they picked Kevin Smith because, of course, huge fans of him, definitely fits the time period, and he's a really interesting character. Now what's interesting is they label him as a hero that you don't expect to be a hero, and they thought that was a really interesting contrast coming from David Hasselhoff in Zombies in Spaceland, where you kind of expect him to be the hero. Kevin is that character that you don't necessarily expect to see him wielding a gun and taking on zombie hordes. So that basically confirms him as the hero, which is going to help our characters survive and leave Rave in the Redwoods. But if you notice on the poster, we also see Jason Mewes, who is better known as Jay in the Jay and Silent Bob series, which of course is with Kevin Smith, which is really awesome. And what he did also mention as well is they're going to be talking a lot of story on what happened in this film and also who else has met their demise in Rave in the Redwoods. So they're going to introduce quite a few other characters' backstories that sort of help flesh out the storyline and also let us know just how dastardly Willard Wyler really is. And with this image that Lee tweeted out of both Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, we might have two playable characters here in this map, or at least see Jason Mewes have a cameo within this, and he potentially could have died in Rave in the Redwoods. I say that because Lee Ross says we want to also explore who else met their demise in the camp and introducing a few other characters' backstories. I'm personally really damn stoked to see what exactly comes out with this crazy duo. Now the last thing I want to touch upon real quick is the inclusion of new Wonderweapons inside of Rave in the Redwoods. Of course we were expecting it and they were teased on their live stream, but I think a lot of people sort of didn't really look at them or realise them because they were too focused on just the excitement of the trailer and the cutscene. But when asked about the weapons that we're going to see in the map, Lee says we definitely want to keep our traditional weaponry available to players. We're going to keep them a little further out of reach. Like I mentioned, the melee weapons, they'll definitely be at players' disposal right away, but of course players love what we call the wonder weapons for zombies, and we've got a whole set of wonder weapons for players to assemble and recover that give players all sorts of amazing capabilities. We revealed some in our live stream, so we have a couple of crossbows with some really ornate designs on them and have some really interesting abilities and have some really fun ways of destroying and decapitating and mutilating zombies. And from that we know we definitely have wonder weapons. They are these crossbows, and we have to assemble and recover them. So it sounds like we need to find the parts for these crossbows, and then we somehow need to recover them from somewhere situated on the map. Sounds like it could be a very similar setup to the wonder weapons in Zombies in Spaceland, where you can see the sort of cutout for them, but you need to get the parts to assemble it and to be able to actually use it. You can vaguely see one of the effects of one of the crossbows in the trailer. It seems to let down like this lightning strike which just kills the zombies, but the trailer goes so quick that you can barely make it out. But we see two really cool camo designs, and I'm sure there's going to be two others which make a set of 4 unique crossbows. But there we go guys, a absolute ridiculous amount of new information for Rave in the Redwoods just before the release of it on Tuesday, and I'm happy to announce that tomorrow at 6 PM UK time, which is 1 PM Eastern Standard Time and 10 AM Pacific time, you'll be able to find a live stream of a little bit of gameplay early just before the release of the map. I got some exclusive hands-on and I can't say too much at this time, but I can reveal a lot of details and gameplay gameplay in tomorrow's video. So be sure to be subscribed, click that notification bell, and follow me on Twitter so you can be notified exactly when that gameplay is going live. And of course, as soon as the map does release, you'll find a bunch of Easter egg hunt live streams as well as helpful guides on getting Pack-a-Punch, power, loads and loads of hidden stuff. It will all be on the channel. Get stoked, my friends. I can't wait for you all to join me tomorrow for some awesome early gameplay.